Hi, my name is Jeff Mead, and I am the children's pastor here at North Central Church. And I just want to, just for a couple moments, just share with you just something that would give you encouragement and give you hope. In the days right now that every time we turn on the news or read the paper, it just seems everything is hopeless. But I want you to know there's a guy that absolutely loves you. And I've been reading in Mark chapter 5, and it's about two people we get to see, and they meet at this kind of intersection. We have a guy by the name of Jairus, and then we have a woman that we never get to know her name. And to have a little back study, Jesus has just got off the boat from the storm, and he's met by Jairus. And we know that Jairus, he has a daughter who's really sick, and very sick to the point of dying. And at the end of that, we see that she actually does die. And he's met by him, and Jesus is literally being drugged by Jairus to his house. Now we have this other lady. We don't know her name. All we know is what's wrong with her. And she's simply called the woman with the issue of blood. And she has this sickness for the last 12 years, and she has spent all of her money to doctors trying to get better. And the Bible says she actually gets worse. And to make it even more complex, because of her sickness, she's unclean and cannot go to church like the normal people. And because she's considered unclean, she can't touch anybody or have any really true friendships, because anything she touched or anyone she's touched would be considered unclean. So she's literally spiritually, physically, emotionally, and financially bankrupt. She's on empty. Sound familiar? So a lot of us that we're feeling right now, we feel literally isolated. We're stuck at home. We're thinking, I would do anything just to be made whole. I just want some hope that I can hold on to. Somehow this woman hears that Jesus is coming to her town, and she gets there and she sees him and says, if I can just touch the bottom of his clothes, I will be healed. And she fights through the crowd, and she reaches out and she touches the bottom of his clothes, and she's healed. And she turns around to go back because she's now healed. But Jesus stops and like, wait a minute. Somebody touched me. And he literally stops everybody. And I would love to know what's going in the mind of the disciples. They're like, everybody's touching you. And then I can imagine Jairus going, it's me. And he's literally trying to drag Jesus to his house, going, my daughter is dying. I need you. And yet we see the characteristic of Jesus right here. He stops the whole crowd and literally assures Jairus that we're going to be okay, that I can heal your daughter, I can even raise your daughter, which is what happens. And yet Jesus stops it, and he finds that woman and he says, you, and he calls her daughter, your faith has made you whole. It's him saying that made that woman's status back. She was able to have friends and all this stuff. It was Jesus saying, I see you. In a crowd where no one sees you, I see you. In a crowd where it's all worst case and bad news, Jesus says, I see you and I can make you whole. Today, it's the same thing. Jesus is stopping the whole world to say, I see you and I love you, and I'm going to give you a peace. I'm going to give you strength that's going to get through this. But Jesus is promising you, I still see you and I still love you. I hope this encourages you, and I hope it helps you throughout the week. I'll talk to you guys really soon.